You are now entering the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Now this here is hard to swallow, but if you do, it's like hitting a lotto. Wow, tell about it.
Hey, this is Annalise.
And Neil C. from the Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks podcast. Proud members of the Musings of a Geek podcast network.
Time for you to get ready for some audio awesomeness.
Now give me some bassline, Miss Selector. Luba, listen up,
and
bring on
the antibiotics.
It's
time for...
What the fuck's the name of that show again?
How to do this, what?
What the hell does that even mean?
How do you feel about anal?
The program you are about to hear is long, thick, and hard to swallow. Consider yourself warned.
Holy shit.
Now, your host, Jay Bidwell.
Thanks, Eddie. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hard to Swallow. I am Jay Bidwell, and we have a return guest here tonight. Go ahead and give whatever fucking name you want.
Jackie.
And a first-time guest. Now, do you want your real name on the show? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, sure. I'm not wanted by the FBI. That's fine.
All right, perfect. So, I got Chris Rayner, man. We welcome. We always got to welcome our first time.
Thank you. I have a cricket ripple. Thank you.
I was going to say, of course, from the accent, we could tell you're from Boston, I guess, right?
Right.
A little bit older than Boston, maybe, yes. We were disappointed that they actually took it back off us. But, they're quite welcome to it.
Quick reminder, anybody who wants to take part in the show today, I do have the phone line up, so you can call 651-321-TWAT is our show line. Don't you love that? Fucking love that.
You call it twat. We usually call it twat.
See, there's already the gap coming in.
You say tomato.
Okay, 321 twat. Twat. What'd you say? Twat?
Twat.
Oh, perfect. All right. So now, how did you come to us, sir?
How did I come to America?
How did you come to the show first? We'll get to the
how did I
American
come to the
part.
show? I just responded. I just bored one night and looking on Craigslist, for.
You found my personal ad?
I found your personal ad, and here I am, and hopefully I will, I won't be buried 6 foot under in your back garden by about 9 o'clock tonight.
I promise nothing. But you forgot the whips and chains, man. That was part of the ad.
I do have a kill kit in the trunk of the car.
Oh, good, perfect.
I have, a bag of lime, rope, duct tape, everything.
A couple years from now, Jay's going to have a really nice rose garden.
I'm assuming it's not the bag of limes that would go with a Corona or a margarita.
No, it's just quick lime.
Damn it! They never bring the Coronas. So what made you search you don't do entertainment, right?
No, I don't do entertainment. I'm just a stiff kind of business guy who's just, doing just bored shitless, really.
Wow.
And, just thought, well, why not give something a bit of a go?
And it's always strange to see the people who reply to the ads, too, because they are so different. There are people who are like, I'm a mortician, I want to come be on your podcast. And, there are people who are comedians, but you have a weird range.
Pretty eclectic.
So when you told me that you were a business kind of guy, I'm like, oh, that's interesting, kind of branching out, looking for something a little different.
Yeah, just, basically, the devil makes work for idle hands, and here I am.
So do you have a lot of free time then?
At nighttime, yes. Trouble is, my business is overseas, so basically I get woke up in the early hours of the morning dealing with China, dealing with the UK, dealing with, that godforsaken place called Europe. Apart from that, and then in the USA, it's... I have to deal with the Canadians on a regular basis. Oh. Never trust a nation of people who are so damn nice.
They are, aren't
See,
they?
my hatred of the Canadian is not Canada per se, the people. It's actually the actual... the border agency. I think you had to have a prefrontal lobotomy just to work for them. Basically, every time I go into Canada, I literally am, grabbed by the Gestapo and asked, why am I here?
Well, see, and I haven't been there since they started the whole, you need a birth certificate or a passport, all that shit.
I don't think you do to get to Canada, but you do to leave, to go to Mexico and stuff.
Well, when I went to Canada...
Well, actually, in Michigan, you can buy an enhanced driver's license because of all the ways you can get into Canada.
Last time I was there, it was so long ago that it was like, here's my ID, bye.
Right. Well,
but now I hear that, it's a lot more strict.
Well, you can buy an enhanced driver's license in Michigan, which just permits you to go just into Canada. It's like $18 or something for the license rather than the 12 or whatever you usually spend. But yes,
It's like we have kept Justin Bieber and Michael J. Fox for all these years. You would think you would just fucking let it slip back in once in a
right?
while.
Yeah, Alex Trebek.
Oh, God, Justin Bieber. Jesus Christ.
Justin Bieber is a more appropriate name, that fucker.
Yeah, he's an absolute...
Speaking of twat, the phone number.
Oh, my God, I just said Justin Bieber. Fuck me.
So you came here for your bride then? Did you get a reverse mail order? Is that how that worked?
Well,
Reverse.
mail order's supposed to be fucking cheap, isn't it?
You would think.
Mine's expensive.
Wives are never cheap, sir.
Yes, I met my wife in Chicago. I was on business in Chicago, and there she was. It was Halloween, and she was dressed as a slutty cop.
Oh,
The
well,
rest
who
is
doesn't?
history.
It could be slutty anything. Slutty blank on Match Game 64, and someone's gonna fuck it.
Well, it took me about... I was flying back into Chicago from Manchester for about 6 months. Had more air miles than Michael Palin. And, kind of run out of stamps in my passport. And then she decided she wanted to live in the UK, so she came over to rob our free healthcare, and she lived with me for 2 years. And then we decided, okay, what's next? And we thought, okay, let's just bring a branch of the company over to the US, bring our production over to the US, and I've been poor ever since.
So free healthcare over there. Do you think you should work here?
There's no reason why it could, but it would bankrupt you.
Oh, great.
The reason why it was installed in the UK was because after the Second World War, Britain was absolutely bankrupt. And when you're bankrupt, you can do what the fucking hell you want.
Right.
It pretty much goes here too, don't it?
Yeah.
But America hasn't never been bankrupt, so it could not put in a healthcare system. Also, it would mean the US government have to purchase all of the hospitals in the country, including all of the doctors who work for them, and pay them a salary. It run into trillions of dollars.
Shit.
So it's...
Yeah, I don't know. If we could just spend a little less money funding other countries and their problems, we might be able to afford that shit.
So
Indeed,
do you get homesick often? Do you want to go back, or are you enjoying it here?
Well, I'm actually trapped here at the moment, believe it or not.
Uh-oh.
I'm
what?
not allowed to leave. Me and my wife have been married now since December.
You don't look like a Muslim.
No, but I get treated like one. Basically, I'm trapped here because when you apply for your green card, I apply for my green card, and it's a bit of a slam dunk, really. And, well, I hope so, anyway. I hope there's no TSA people listening tonight. Don't worry about it.
Again, that number is 651-321-TWAT.
No, but I'm trapped here. So while I'm applying for the green card, I'm not allowed to go back, not allowed to leave the United States. So I'm trapped here.
And what's the time frame on that?
It could be any time that the U.S. government want it to be.
6 months to 8 years, or
Well, basically, the U.S. government wouldn't take my salary into consideration. So basically, I had to get my mother-in-law to sponsor me.
oh, really?
Wow.
Yes. So my mother-in-law was sponsored me because they think I'm coming from a country with free healthcare, free housing, and about $70,000 a year in state benefits like Dole. They think I'm coming over here for food stamps. I imagine food stamps
I've
are very
actually seen
underrated.
so many sitcoms, and I'm surprised you have a mother-in-law that likes you.
It took a bit of work.
I just assumed that was the thing, that if you have a mother-in-law, she fucking hates your guts.
Well, I did buy her a chair last Christmas, but she's still refusing to plug it in.
Was it a vibrator?
No, she's just refusing to plug it in. It's an electric chair.
Oh! That'd be hot. Just tell her it'll cure the wrinkles. She'll be all over it.
Right?
Plug that shit in a heartbeat.
Oh, God.
I do got a little bit of business. Got to congratulate Joe from Shelby, Michigan for winning. We had a giveaway contest, a trivia contest. So he won digital copies of a few different movies. So congrats to him.
Congratulations, Joe.
I asked
Congratulations.
him a very obscure question. I said, according to this episode of our show, our guest said that his two favorite smells were what and what, and he picked it out. And it was like pussy and cat urine or something. So
Oh, who was that?
in a very John Means in a very fast-paced episode too.
Okay.
So he earned them.
Nice.
He earned his Dark Knight.
All
His
right.
Red Wings. So the other day, Jax here and I were supposed to go see a feature film in a movie theater.
Correct.
Now, our friendship has this weird thing where we have two things in common. Okay, drinking,
Good pastime.
and not watching movies together. Because this bitch,
That'd be me.
this bitch has an affinity for you pop in a movie, she passes out, or we go to the movies and shit goes south.
Shit goes south.
Either we can't get in, she's wasted, goes to the wrong movie theater, all kinds of crazy shit has happened. So the other day, you got some passes. We were going to see an advanced screening of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Correct.
What happened when we got...
Well, you know, I was thinking about this because I was telling my mom that. She was like, well, that's kind of bullshit, but they gave out too many tickets. So they had so many vouchers for seats in the theater, but they gave out way more vouchers than they had seats. So there was like a disclaimer right on the ticket that said, first come, first serve, blah, blah, blah.
Only in America.
Fuck you, America.
We're in line for this movie, and we're probably, 10 people back, 15? And she's like, I just want everybody to know that everybody from here back is not getting in the movie.
So you got a
We're
line
like, all right.
of pissed off people who are now not getting into this advanced screening they were clearly excited about.
People that drove down from White Cloud.
Whitehall. The couple in front of us is from Whitehall.
Yeah.
Which is an hour and something away.
Whitehall.
Hour and change away.
Right.
Then we walk outside, and even in the garbage can, there's like 60 fucking tickets sitting there like, fuck this. Someone
Right.
just ditched the shit in the garbage.
But I thought about that because if they only give away so many tickets to fill the theater and then half the people don't show up, then they only have a half full theater. So they have to probably give away at least a few extras. I would think you would have opened another theater.
I would imagine that would be the bright way to go so that you don't have a
one
bunch
would
of
think.
angry people. But
just drag people off the street.
Right?
Well, and print enough for the seats you've got. So if you haven't got enough, just go onto the street and say, hey, you want to see a free movie?
Oh, yeah, okay, good point.
I was on
This is free.
vacation in Pasadena in 2003 when I was 16 years old. And we were in our hotel lobby, and this guy...
Such a puppy.
I know. This guy comes up, and he goes, hey, you guys want to go see American Idol? And I was like, not really. That show's pretty gay, actually.
I think I'd rather have Elton John treat my hemorrhoids, to tell you the truth.
Exactly.
You know.
So he goes, well, they're free, and there's going to be celebrities there. And I was like, oh, okay, in that case, I guess we'll...
So you went?
We went. It was right around the corner. That's what they were doing, walking down the street, handing out tickets and shit. So we go in, and this is they overbooked this theater in their minds, I think. So you walk into this giant auditorium, and there's maybe 65 people there, and they got them all crammed in the first 3 rows out of about 250.
Really?
So they're begging people, like, please come watch, because they have, you know, if you've seen American Idol, they have the cameras go over the crowd and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, so we start watching the show, and it was like season 2, so it was like Ruben Studdard and Clay were the big talk.
Right.
And Kelly Clarkson comes out, sings a song, and they're like, we're going to do that again. I was like, wait, what? I thought this was like a live singing competition. Like,
no, you're there all day.
Yeah. So then she sings it again, and we're like, okay, whatever. We're like fake applaud this time, whatever. Another girl comes out. This black girl who was big in the first season comes out. She sang her song, started singing it for the 3rd time, and we're like, deuces, fuck this shit. We bounce out along with half of the people who were there. Like I said, it was only like 60-some people.
Right.
So it was great, though, because when I recorded it, we're watching it on television. It's like, there we are. Mid-song, the camera pans back over, and our whole row's gone.
That's great.
I still got that on tape somewhere.
Do you?
Well, you have us to thank for American Idol. Mr.
Yes, we
Mr.
do.
Cowell, yes.
Mr. Cowell.
Yeah.
It's okay. We had the Judith Boyle revolution in the UK a couple of years ago. Have you heard of Judith Boyle?
Susan Boyle?
Susan Boyle, that's
Susan
her
Boyle,
name,
yeah.
Yes.
You know, she's not right in the head, that woman.
She got big off America's Got Talent, right? Or
No, it was American Idol.
Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Mind you, should be more aptly named. Britain's not got any talent whatsoever.
Well, so as should ours.
Yeah, well, you know, basically, Susan Boyle, she was so pissed off when she didn't win it. I was hoping that she wouldn't win it.
Didn't she get
She did win it, didn't she?
Didn't she still get a record deal, a ridiculous amount of money?
Yeah,
I thought she did win.
No, she came 2nd or 3rd.
I didn't realize that.
A bunch of fucking street.
If I was with her, I
dancers
wouldn't
won
come
it.
at all, I don't think.
Well, put it one way, if me and Susan Boyle were the last people left on Earth, I would rather use her as bait to trap a wild animal who I'd rather have sex with.
There you go. Fuck
wow.
Yeah, dude. I mean, she's not very attractive at
No,
all.
there's really nothing very pretty about her.
She's not even like
and she
2:30 a.m. drunk, get the fuck out of the bar attractive. I'm sorry.
Right.
Man, just suppose everyone's woke up to worse. Or have they?
Well, I just don't roll them over to find out. Just like, oh, I'm going to pretend you're so fucking pretty and pet the back of your head as I scoot out the door.
Beer
off your
goggles
arm.
have a lot to answer for, don't they?
Oh, well, I have a question for you. Like, so I'm a huge, like, Stephen Merchant, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
How big are they over there compared to here?
Steve Merchant and Ricky Gervais obviously did The Office together. You don't really see a lot of Steve Merchant, but you see a lot of Ricky Gervais. Well, the best one that they do together is An Idiot Abroad. Have you seen
Love
that?
Carl Pilkington.
And Carl Pilkington,
fucking
yeah.
love that, yeah.
He is, because he's from the same city as I'm from, Carl Pilkington, and they all met while they were at the University of Manchester.
It was even better when they put, what's the midget's name with him?
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the dude from Willow and shit, whatever the fuck his name was.
He's a real
I can picture
douchebag,
him.
isn't he? You know, Carl Pilkington, he just wanted to see the Spider Woman. And he was pissed off that he just wanted to see a freak show.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're in India, for God's sake. It's the only thing you can actually do in India apart from catch malaria or something, or cholera.
The other thing you can do in India is move here and open a liquor store.
Or get the shits. Yes, definitely.
Right, or a gas station. Liquor store, or gas station.
I remember years ago we sent some business people over to India, and one of them took a suitcase full of it's called Complan in the UK. You know what they give to cancer patients? Them milkshakes.
Like
No,
chemo milkshake?
It's like about 1,000 calories in a small shake.
Okay.
He took a suitcase full of them because he was shit scared of eating anything in India.
It's like bringing a case of Ensure.
How have you not? I can't believe you haven't seen it. I think I showed you.
Is it a TV show or a movie?
It was a TV show,
Okay.
Idiot Abroad. They had the one Life's So Short or Life's Too Short with the midget guy.
Was that Vern? Was
They
that
had
Vern?
the
What's
first
his name?
one was
Vern
Idiot
Troyer?
Abroad, where they sent him around the 7 wonders of the earth, of
Yeah,
the world.
yeah.
The second one was when they did the bucket list. And the third one was retracing Marco Polo's trip to China from Italy.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
They did the podcast too. Actually, he was one of the first big podcasts. Was the Ricky Gervais show, where it was him, Carl, and Steven. And they
were on XFM, like a local Manchester radio station. That's where I think, because Carl Pilkington was their producer.
No shit. Like
yeah,
he actually
was
worked there.
Yeah, he was their producer, and then they kind of got him involved because he is this totally grounded guy who is like not excited about anything.
He's got
at
a
all.
peanut for a brain.
No, basically, he's the guy that's gone around the 7 wonders of the world.
Okay.
And he actually doesn't want to be there. So it is
Do you have
absolutely
that?
brilliant.
I
It's
might
a
have to
total
watch
fish
that.
out of water sort of thing.
Speaking of sitcoms, when do you start taping for yours? Whoops.
Oh yeah, I got some very good news this week. I went to an audition. What was it? Friday?
Thursday.
Thursday, I think.
Thursday, Friday.
Okay, Thursday. So I went to an audition on Thursday. The next day, I got the call. They gave me a part on this locally. It's going to be a pilot episode. So anybody who's not familiar with a pilot episode, check the first season DVD set of anything you own.
Right.
The first episode's always called the pilot. Because what you do is you shoot a test episode, and that's what they use to sell to networks. So I'm going to be doing this. It's an improv show, I found out.
You did? Okay, because somebody and I were talking about that. Petra and I were.
And I was terrified.
Yeah?
Because I've never gone to an audition and had it be improv, first of all.
Yeah, but you did really well.
Apparently I did well.
Yeah.
But now
Sounds like it.
now I come to find out the show is going to be improv. So,
Uh-oh, somebody's going to have to watch their little potty mouth.
well, the only good thing about the pilot is you're going to edit a pilot. It's not going to be a live broadcast to the network.
Right.
So it can still be edited and shit, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know about my potty mouth being watched. That's going to be a little scary.
So if they're going to edit you, that means your entire part will, hi, I'm Jay Bidwell. And that'll be it.
Every other word out of his mouth is the F-bomb.
I know. I do swear a little much for
swear.
network television, but
I know, right?
we'll find out. But like I said, it's going to be recorded live in front of a studio audience. It's not going to be broadcast
Right,
live.
no, I get it.
And actually, what I've noticed over the last couple seasons on television is some of my favorite shows are not the ones who censor themselves and make their jokes stupid. They're the ones who actually take the time to bleep it.
Right.
Have you noticed shows doing that now more?
I have.
On network television?
Yes.
It's like we're not going to take our fuck joke out. We're going to let you censor it. Fuck it.
Right.
I think that's much more clever.
It is.
What are television standards over where you're from? Are they different than here?
A damn sight better. Basically, only in America you can make a half an hour show last 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know, with the adverts and everything. Mind you, they always say it's the unique way the British license fee is funded. Because we have to buy a television license every year.
Oh, really?
For $250.
Damn.
Huh.
And it goes straight to the BBC, who then make a shit ton of money by selling it all over the world, like Top Gear and The Office and things like that. and we have the local Gestapo coming round, peeking through our windows to see if we've got a television.
Really?
Yeah, and if they find you've got a television, you get fined £1,000, which is like about $1,700.
Holy crap.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And then
Fuck
that money
that.
just goes back to the BBC.
Oh, just goes
So
straight
the
to
window
BBC.
peeping is completely legal then? Like,
Jay's like,
they would hate
I
to
just
find
found
some-
my new home.
they would hate to come around here.
Actually, it is illegal, and they have no right of entry. So as soon as they actually knock on your door and say, I'm from the television licensing people, you haven't bought a television license. And then the first thing they ask you is, can I come in?
You say, go
And
fuck
you say,
yourself.
no, goodbye, don't let the door hit you, because you're not even going to be coming in the door.
Right.
You know, now piss off and get off my driveway.
See, what I'd move over there. I'd get a box from my 50-inch television, set it outside the door, and then just start ferociously masturbating in the window. Just waiting.
Oh, my God.
Just waiting. They're like, oh, shit, what is he doing?
Only you.
Next time, they're going to come with some Windex. I guarantee it. Because you hear about, like, Russia. Is it Russia and stuff where they can literally have, like, pornography on television? Like, nudity's fine. What country was it?
I don't know.
You hear about those, though, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's common in mainly most of Europe, like the Scandinavian countries, especially in Germany.
Sweden?
Well, Sweden, I love that
Sweden.
story. They said, hey, it's legal to masturbate in public now as long as you're not victimizing anybody.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Well, by chasing after someone with your pants around your ankles, vigorously masturbating at them.
Yeah, they said as long as I'm not, like, making you a victim of it and not looking you eye to eye, I can do what I want.
Just not making eye contact.
Right.
That's fantastic, yeah. You just gotta love Sweden. That's why all the stuff at IKEA is so fucked up then, isn't it? That's why you can't build it. They're all masturbating all the time in public.
That's why all those little wrenches are so sticky when you get them.
You.
You get your IKEA kit, that little socket wrench home, you're like, oh, fuck, it's gooey. I don't...
Is it just me, or does everyone have about 15 screws left over?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I could go for a good screw now and then, though, so it's nice to have a few left over.
Germany's quite bizarre. See, prostitution is totally legal in Germany.
It's legal?
It's totally legal. And
All right.
they have a...
Unless you're a Jew.
No, of course, yeah. They were, it's Germany.
Because those Jews are just flocking to go move to Germany. What the fuck?
Hey, I see them fucking sad-ass Christmas commercials every year. Feed a Holocaust survivor, and it's just the saddest thing. This old woman, like, crying in a hut.
Oh, yeah.
You see those?
I have seen those.
So they're still there, goddammit. I know that. And they need food.
They were actually going to bring a DVD out in Germany called the about the Holocaust. But
How it didn't happen?
No, they wanted to call it the good old days.
Yeah, I can see that. They're going to have a book. They should have a book just like OJ tried to do. If I Did It. They could have the same title.
Right.
Germany, the Holocaust. If we did it. Not saying it smells like burnt flesh over here 70 years later, but...
I just love people who just deny the Holocaust. It never happened. Well, guess what? There's plenty of fucking evidence to suggest it did.
Right.
Yeah, but I was saying prostitution is totally legal in Germany, and they actually have apartment blocks with prostitutes in them. And on every floor, you have, like, what sort of prostitute are you into? Like, if you're into straight normal sex, if you want to be pissed upon, that's on a different floor.
If I got jungle fever?
Yeah, if you wanted if you wanted a chick with a dick, that's on the top floor.
A chick with a dick.
That's a lot of stairs for me to get all the way up to the chick with a dick if she's on the top floor.
Well,
You better put her on the bottom for my fat ass.
And this is in Cologne in Germany, because my job, when we were with all the guys in Germany, My job was the wallet holder.
The what?
You're a
The
very
wallet
trustworthy
holder.
man,
The
then.
wallet holder. Really?
Yes, because while my friends were in there with the prostitutes,
Gotcha. Oh,
I
you
was
were like,
holding,
you
I
were
was
like
holding
the purse
about
watcher at
7
the bar.
wallets. I was holding 7 wallets because they actually have a bar inside the brothel.
He did the job of a coat rack, unfortunately.
Right. No, I get
Yeah.
that because somebody was. I don't know who I was having this conversation with recently, but they said that they have areas like that as well in Amsterdam, like the red light district and stuff, where
you
they
just
have
walk
like
down
it's just
Amsterdam and it's window shopping. You can just go in there, you pick your girl out of the window.
I just want her. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably nothing
him.
like soulless, non-eye contacted sex, is it?
Is it just women or men too?
Men, women.
Whoa, you planning a
everything.
trip there, woman?
But possibly,
She's like, when's the next fucking flight out of here?
right?
Jesus. Are there men too? I can see the fucking sweat coming off her forehead.
Oh, apparently KLM are very reasonable.
What's that?
KLM are very reasonable. If you want to
the
get your flight to Amsterdam,
airline.
the airline to
Oh,
Amsterdam.
gotcha. Okay, thank you. All right, good to know.
I get shit from them all the time. I think I entered a contest like probably 2001. And I still get random ass emails from them. I'm like, I'm not coming anytime soon.
Right.
I'm sorry. I just wanted the free backpack, or whatever the fuck it was back then.
No, I decided I wanted my next vacation. I want to go to Mexico, but I want to plan this out for my.
You really do want to go to raping, don't you?
No.
'Cause I hear that's what happens there.
Yeah, you'd be
But
killed.
not necessarily much. Not. I don't want to go to like maybe not necessarily Cabo, but maybe Puerto Vallarta.
You're gonna need 6 spray tans first.
Yeah.
That way,
Okay.
maybe you'll.
Well,
fit it.
I want to save up for it, but because my birthday's 5/5, which
Yeah, her
is Cinco,
birthday
which
is
is
Cinco de Mayo.
Mayo,
Isn't that fucked
and
up?
I'm thinking I should go there on my 55th birthday
Oh,
because
God.
that would just be fun.
Yeah, because
Which is a few years out.
then you'll snort 5 lines of cocaine and you'll be really fucked.
55 lines of cocaine.
Just let everyone know where you're going, then we can find the shallow grave afterwards.
Yeah, no
Okay.
shit.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
It's a bit lawless as Mexico.
The only good thing is we'll never forget you because we'll have that constant rerun on Dateline.
Right. There you go.
Did you see the story? This has kind of been all over the news the last week or so. Young girl. They keep saying teen, but I've seen that she may be 14.
Up in Nuevo.
Yeah.
Yep.
She ditched her newborn baby on the side of the road.
Yeah. She just girl, 14 years old, had a baby, just left it there
On the side of a road.
on the side of the road.
Underneath the satellite dish, just chilling.
Yep.
And some guy walking his dog found it. I guess it was his property.
Really.
But like, what the fuck? Don't you think we live in an age now where you can jump on the internet and find a better route to go than just to drop your baby on the side of the road?
Not to mention, you'd think they'd used to be used to 14-year-olds pregnant in Nuevo. Come on now.
No, even
I
in a
just said that
hospital or
out loud, didn't I?
something, a hospital police station.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
on the side of the fucking road.
The baby is apparently okay and recuperating. It's in Fremont Hospital, the Gerber Hospital, I guess.
Is it?
Apart from the
Okay.
tire marks, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. They said it's got a few minor bruises. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, my favorite part of the fucking broadcast was at the end when the person whose wife, or the wife of the person who found it, said she was just scared. She's a really good girl. I'm like, what?
She's 14 years old and knocked up. Let's start there. Although she does live in Nuevo.
Yeah, what
So,
the fuck?
I mean, I've been to Nuevo. Have you?
Do they have rednecks where you're from?
Yes, we do.
Do you know the equivalent?
I call them the Great Unwashed.
Yeah, there you go.
Basically, we have our
Everything in that
own,
accent is funnier. I don't know why.
The Great Unwashed.
We,
I don't know.
we
That
have
just
our
is.
own version of the Jerry Springer Show, but without the fighting. And you had him here for a while, the Jeremy Kyle Show.
That name actually sounds familiar.
He
but
was
I
on
can't-
American television for a while. What he does is he gets all the feckless, the feral, and the idle, and he puts them on a stage together, where kind of like hi, I'm sleeping with your father and your brother as well. I don't know who the child's father is.
And I'm your uncle. That's
Yes.
weird.
Yeah, right?
And it's like that, and then he tries and gives legitimate advice. Unlike Jerry Springer, when they just want to have
Fight.
each other fight,
Yeah.
he tries to like preaching all this advice and everything, and like lie detectors and DNA testing and all of that. It's kind of like Jerry
sounds like
Springer
Maury.
meets the Maury Show, sort
Right.
of, kind of sandwiched together. But
So they have faceless freaks fighting?
no, usually toothless. Mind you, just to confirm, I do, as an Englishman, do have all of my own teeth.
Good work.
There we go. Yes.
I don't even have that.
No, it's embarrassing. It really is when you actually see it on the show. But you're kind of hooked into it. No, there's something about car crash television that you cannot take your eyes off. Like, there was one time, I remember I had about half an hour free, and I started watching Paris Hilton's BFF. Okay.
That's the one where she was looking for a friend and an assistant or something?
Yeah. And basically...
I'm sad that I know that.
I was hooked. I despise the woman, but I just wanted to know how low could some member from the human race stoop just to be her friend?
Yeah.
But it kept getting lower and lower and lower. It was subterranean, for goodness sake.
Well,
people would do
I think
anything.
Geraldo applied.
Maybe they just set the bar too high to begin with.
No, who would want to be Paris Hilton's friend?
I know. I can relate because I have that whole fucking reality show, like all 5 seasons of that one she had with Nicole Richie.
Oh yeah,
where they were like housewives or whatever.
Is it called?
I watched
The Simple Life.
The Simple Life. Yes.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
They had to go work on farms and shit.
I watched every piece of shit episode of that show and laughed my ass off.
Yeah, John?
I don't know why. I'm like, they're pretty and rich, and we just watch. I don't understand it myself, but.
Lionel Richie
was it really 5 seasons? 5 episodes.
He adopted that girl, and he's like, "Oh my god, I adopted a whore. Like, what did I do?" I do like though whenever she's like, "I'm Lionel Richie's daughter," and they're like, "Aren't you a little light to be?" Maybe his daughter now, but not his daughter
then. Was that his wife's kid, or
I have no idea.
Okay,
I don't know. I've never seen his wife. I just imagine she's this fictional creature that he made up for the adoption forms.
Oh, quite possibly.
I want to be a humanitarian.
Because we were just reading last week. I don't know who I was with. Could have been Gramps, and we were talking about James Garner and whether or not he ever had like kids or was married, and we kind of like did a research on his life, and he had adopted his wife's daughter as well when she was like 3. So.
Yeah, he usually when a celebrity dies, you hear about him for a little bit. I only heard about him like that one day.
Well, yeah, for like a minute. And then who else just died
didn't give a shit
yesterday
anymore.
or the day before?
Someone else died?
Yes, somebody posted something on Facebook.
Could be bullshit. Everything
Was
on
it
Facebook's
Robert Wagner?
bullshit now.
Did Robert Wagner die?
Died about 6 months ago, didn't he? Or a year ago?
I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody that I'm friends with on Facebook wrote R.I.P. I don't remember though. Sorry.
R.I.P. Princess Diana. Wait a second. I feel like I've read this one before.
No, I don't remember who it was.
Is there a sequel all of a sudden? I also told you not too long ago about the story, the 3-way that gone awry. 2 men having a 3-way with a lady, and the way it was written, it seemed like they were best buds. Of course, one of them hogged the pussy a little too long and ends up getting shanked by his buddy. Mid thrust.
Mid thrust.
How ungentlemanly.
It's like we came here to penetrate her, not to be penetrated.
Man, the best story I ever heard was one that originated in the UK. There was a woman that was admitted to hospital with a fractured skull, and a gentleman was there with lacerations to his penis. Anyway, so when they established exactly what happened, it went as the following. She was giving him a blowjob, and then she had an epileptic fit.
Oh, so she bit
my
down?
God.
She jumped down. In his panic, he picked up the bedside lamp and started beating her around the head with it.
Oh my God.
Until she let go. So there you have it. Always ask a woman. First question for any woman is, are you a photosensitive epileptic? It pays dividends in the long run.
I guess you never know until you try what's going to happen when you poke them larynx, huh?
I guess
Ugh.
not.
Fucking A, dude. That would be miserable.
Ooh.
I think I'd have worked my way to the kitchen and dropped the lamp. That bitch had some stab wounds.
Hi. What's wrong with you?
I also wanted to shout out anybody who's in the Grand Rapids area. If you know anybody who wants to be an extra in a zombie movie, I do have a part in this movie coming out called Return of the Dead. I'm playing a character named Dave. My first scene is going to be shot Saturday. They need extras for a party. So if you know anybody, they kind of want high school, college age. But if anybody listening wants to take part, you can look up Return of the Dead on IMDb. It's also got a Facebook group. You can hit up my buddy David Diaz. That should be his page. Or email me and I'll get you in contact with the right people. But it's going to be fun. You get to fucking drink and hang out and you get to be in a movie. What the fuck? But who doesn't want to be seen on the big screen?
Well, it might be.
Right.
Well, the last thing I want to be is in a snuff film. That's the only movie I don't want to be in.
I've seen Vacancy. It doesn't go well for them.
And that's a great 8mm is a great film. And Nicolas Cage,
Oh, yeah.
that is a great film.
Yeah, I don't. That's why you always in your contract you make sure that you're going to shoot your death scene the first week, not the last day. That's when you got to worry because when they schedule your murder scene for that last day, I'm like, well, that's weird. I don't.
Okay.
I thought we would get that out of the way early. I want to know that I'm going home that night. I got a lot more masturbating to do this week. I haven't met the quota. I answered a Craigslist ad, and I'm sad because my man has not answered me back yet. I mentioned it on the last show. There's a guy posted an ad. He's looking for young women to pay money to play with their hair. And I was like, oh, here's what I'm going to do. I took a photo of a young lady's long, beautiful hair, and I sent it to him. And he said, I'll answer anybody. So I sent it to him. And I was hoping that I would get the response. I would be able to set up a whole hidden camera thing, like lapel mic and everything, and go meet him somewhere and just fucking have a ball and show up in a wig and just he'd be like, "What the fuck happened to you?"
Who the fuck are these people?
Who knows?
No, this guy's probably driving across states wearing a woman's head as a hat, for God's sake. This guy's a serial killer.
He's like, cash? I'm going to give you cash up front just to let me play with your hair. And the best part was, though, he goes, I'm not some fat perv just wanting to play with your hair. I'm young and fit. It's like, I think it's the perv part.
And some makeup. I'm a young fit perv.
Yeah, I think it's the perv part they're worried about, not your actual appearance. If you're going to get money to let somebody play with your hair, you're not worried about what they look like.
Well, yeah, that, and you know what? Okay, good, you're young and fit. So if you're trying to, like, kill me, there's a better chance I won't get away.
That's true.
Fuck that. I'd go with the fat dude.
My question is, Chris, that was
around
not
like
your
that.
ad, correct?
No, it was not my ad.
You did mention you were bored and perusing Craigslist. I just wanted to clarify.
No, mine was the one for feet tickling. That was mine.
Okay.
Yes.
And somehow that strikes me a little less weird. I don't know why.
But it has to be with the feather duster, of course. But that's only every Thursday.
Feather duster.
It is harder to get women to agree to feet stuff, I've noticed.
Oh, yeah, speaking of which,
Oh, God.
I got a pedicure today.
Speaking of which, I gave a foot job for lunch.
No, I went to the cosmetology school. I should have just spent the extra $10 fucking at the pedicure place. Seriously.
You were not satisfied?
This girl no, not at all. It's a really pretty color, but that's about it.
My wife took me for a pedicure once, and I must say, the Vietnamese women are very efficient.
Yes, and you know what? If you go to the right place and have it right, it's like pure heaven. This was not so much.
I do not pity those women. Can you imagine going to work, putting on a face mask and goggles to avoid toenail clippings being swallowed? Like that's appalling to me.
You know, I guess you know what you're getting into when you choose your career path.
Well, they
when
probably
you're going
don't.
To,
they're from,
you know, if you want to go to cosmetology,
they're boat people. They're kept under lock and key at night times, aren't they? And
all right. I didn't realize we were just talking about just the Vietnamese
Oh,
people.
no. The
we're just talking about people that give pedicures as a rule.
Oh, the owners have paid good money for them, so they want to get their money's worth out of them pedicures, of course. You know, they keep them in a cargo container outside. They have one meal a day. Then they're wheeled out. They're makeup on to hide the bruises,
right.
And they're told to work all day and all night, just scrubbing feet and cutting toenails.
Now I'm just picturing a bunch of Lucy Lou's and Jet Li's on Amistad. Like, God damn it.
Hey.
Well, since we covered so much sex and vagina dick talk, I suppose it's only appropriate that we throw to my interview with porn star Layla Price. She's very big in the anal community. Yeah.
All right, then.
So if you like a little shot in your buttocks once in a while, there you go. There you go, everybody. Layla Price. Everybody, we have a very special treat today. On the line, we have the very beautiful, the very talented Miss Layla Price. How's it going?
Woo! Going good.
You can't hear the huge audience in the room just applauding, like, oh my god, what? Ah, shit.
I bet I have quite a few fans in there.
Now, for anybody who wants to pretend they don't know your line of work, you are an adult film actress, right? Is that what you?
Yes, I am.
Is that what you prefer to be called? Is there a certain term that is derogatory toward adult film stars?
It doesn't really matter what you want to call me. You can call me adult film actress, you can call me a porn star, you can call me a slut, whatever, I don't care.
What age did you realize you wanted to get into the porn industry?
You know what? I was actually very young when I wanted to get in the porn industry. Very, very young. I was a little girl. So, I wanted to do porn, but then as I got older, I thought, maybe I should try something else. And then I tried everything else, and I was like, and then I hit 21, and I was like, alright, I think I'm gonna try porn, and everything worked out.
Wow. So I seen an interview that you idolized Jenna Jameson. Was that from a young age as well?
Yes, that's why I got into porn, because, I looked up to her, I saw her on MTV, and she was, I think she was hosting something, or whatever, but I thought she was so pretty, and she had this wonderful life. I was like, I want to look just like her.
Did you ever have the chance to meet her?
No, I haven't. I did see her, though, at the Expos Awards when she hosted it. I didn't meet her there, but I saw her there, and I was like, wow. I mean, I was like kind of in shock in a way. I was like, wow, I'm in the same room as she is. Holy shit.
Isn't that weird when you run into somebody that you've looked up to for so long, and you're like, oh my god, you're the person I aspire to be, and you're 6 feet away from me?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how exactly it felt. It was crazy, but it was it's a fun experience. I mean, I've met a lot of, like, top name porn stars, and some were cool, some were not a big fan, but I'm not a big fan of, but, everything's okay.
Well, that was one of my questions, too. Is it very competitive? I mean, it seems like it would be a real cutthroat industry to be in, especially for young women.
Yeah, I mean, it has its ups and downs. Like, I know one thing, you never know when you're going to get a shot, you're going to get, a shoot. But a lot of the porn industry is very niche-y, so depending on what market you're in, it depends how much work you're going to get. Like me, I'm in the big butt market, so, but there's a lot, so I would automatically put in anal movies, but there's a lot of girls with big asses in this industry. Whereas if I have one friend, she has ridiculously huge natural tits. She's like a double H or something like that, and
holy shit,
she gets
wow.
so much work because she's got big natural boobs. And plus, like, it all depends on, like, what market you're in, how well your market sells. Like, I know right now it's big natural tits, teen, and MILF, and yeah, so those are the top three that I think pretty much sell. And unfortunately, I'm not one of those markets, but hey, I still get plenty of work. I have a 42-inch ass.
Nice.
And, I'm in a big, automatically people are like, oh, you got a big, I get put on a lot of big butt stuff, basically.
So you're bisexual in your personal life as well?
I am. I like both girls and guys.
But I heard in an interview that you do not date women.
That I do not date women? Well, honestly, I've never dated a girl. I've never really dated a girl. That's the thing. I mean, I've never dated a girl in my personal life, and I don't know, like, I would date a girl, but it's really hard finding, a girl that is down to earth. I want a girl like me, and there's not very girls in the business that are like me in general. Like, I think it'd be more complicated dating a girl than dating a guy, but I'd be open to it.
Is it pretty common to date within the industry then? Is it because they understand that you're not out cheating on them, you're out at work?
Yeah, I mean, I've dated both guys in the industry and outside the industry. I've only dated like 4 or 5 guys since I got into porn. But guys that are in porn, they're more understanding. They get it because they do the same thing too. But there can be similar problems, as well. Like if you're dating a guy, like if I'm dating somebody who's a male performer, there might be certain guys and girls that he would want me to work with, stupid things like that. But it's like common relationship problems.
Wow, shit. So how is LA treating you? I know you're from Baltimore, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get back home often?
Yeah, I'm actually going home fairly soon to visit my friends and family. But Yeah, I go home a couple times a year.
And your family doesn't have any idea that you're in the adult film industry?
Nope, they don't.
How do you suppose they would react if it were to come out?
I think they'd be pretty pissed, but I think they would get over it because I'm an adult. I'm 22 years old, and I'm an adult now, so I kind of make my own decisions. I've been pretty good. It's just, I don't think they'd be upset that I'm having sex on film or that I'm naked and things like that. I don't think they'd be concerned about that. I think they'd be more pissed or upset the fact that I could contract something that I can't get rid of, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, the shit we all fear. It's not even just in the industry. I fear that shit every time I close a bar and I'm looking at the nearest whore. I'm like, I don't...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think they would be more worried that, oh my God, are you afraid you're gonna catch something? Shit like that. Like, I don't think they would. Because I'll tell you a funny story. When I was 18, I tried out for a big company, but it was just solo. And they ended up giving me like $150 for the solo, and my mom found out about it, but she was cool. Like, she didn't care. She was totally cool with it. So I think she'd be more worried about me catching a disease.
Oh, so she was like, oh, you're doing a masturbation video? That's not a big deal, what the fuck? But she's more worried about, what you could get from God knows who.
Yeah, I think that's what she'd be more concerned about.
That's interesting, actually. Your mother, at least she's a little bit open-minded then. Did you come from a very religious upbringing at all?
Oh, no, I didn't. I never went to church a day in my life.
Just for funerals and weddings, probably, like my family?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. Do they do funerals anywhere else besides churches? It seems like, where do non-religious people go for a funeral?
I have no clue. That's a very good question.
My family never spent a Sunday in church, and yet every time there's a funeral or a wedding, there we are sitting in the fucking pews, and I'm going, I don't understand why we're here. Have you ever had any weird encounters with creepy fans? I mean, besides this phone interview right now?
Well, actually, I had one. I actually had somebody recognize me in a public place. That was a little interesting. So what happened was I'm working out at my gym, and I'm getting ready to leave. And then all of a sudden, this kid comes up to me. He was like, I don't know, like 17, 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So he comes up to me, and he's like, aren't you Layla? And I was like, what? He's like, you're Layla Price. Holy shit. And I'm thinking in my head, oh, dear God, not this. And
you're like, this kid's not even old enough to buy this shit.
He was cool about it. He was like, oh, can I take a picture with you? You're awesome. I love your scenes. And I was like, okay. So I took a photo with him, and, so he could show his little friends or post it on his Facebook. They met his favorite porn star. And then he said that, oh, yeah, I just watched one of your scenes this morning. It was so good. And I'm like, I'm glad you liked it.
So when someone comes up to you like that, and you know, like, oh God, this person just masturbated me, does that totally creep you out, or is that something you're into?
I'm actually flattered. It makes me happy that people watch my scenes and they enjoy them and they like them. And, it's good feedback in my part, and it goes to show you how loyal my fan base is.
So I noticed you were on Howard Stern not too long ago, and he put you through that dumb-ass fucking game, that dumber than a box of rocks, but you won. I mean, is he as much of a prick as he seems like on air?
No, he's actually very nice.
Does he act very different off air?
Well, I can't remember because it was so long. It was a year and a half ago. This was when I first started porn, and I got casted on the show. But he was a really nice guy. He was really cool, laid back, and he was actually. But he said to me, like during the game show, I only got 2 questions wrong, and he was like, "You're too smart to be on this show. You must have cheated to get on this show. You're too smart." And I was like, "Oh, I'm meeting you up with them after all." But he's a really nice guy.
Oh, so that's cool. So if they asked you to come back, you would anytime, basically.
Yeah, hopefully I can go back when there. I had fun.
I understand that several of your exes contacted you once they found out you got into adult films. What was their deal? Were they wanting you back, or were they more like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, it was actually like, they were just surprised. Like, they were like, oh my God, you're doing porn right now? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, cool. They just couldn't believe that. I mean, they couldn't believe that I was doing it. And, you know, I told a couple of my exes, I was like, yeah, now I can totally fuck a porn star. Awesome.
That would be something fun to brag about, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's really what it was. They didn't, like, want me back or anything. They were just like, oh, cool, good for you.
So you go, yeah, you fucked one porn star, but I fuck porn stars every week.
Absolutely.
Do you have a sexual no-no list, like anything that is completely off the table for you?
Like what I'm willing to do?
Yeah, if in your scene, if they were like, hey, we want you to lay under a table while somebody shits on it, would you do that, or is that against you?
Fuck no.
No, two girls, one Layla, right?
Right, no, none of that. Definitely nothing to do with like piss or shit or none of that. And I don't do transsexual. That's another thing I don't do. I just don't find them attractive. That's not what turns me on. Like whatever you see me doing film, that's what I like to do in my personal life. But, you know, I just don't do transsexuals because I'm just not attracted to transsexual. I don't find transsexuals attractive, and I'm just not into it. I'm not into the sex act. So, you know, I'm never gonna fuck a transsexual because I'm not into it.
So, do they negotiate that kind of stuff ahead of time? Is that how that works?
Yeah, basically, like, I mean, I'm pretty open-minded, but the only things that I don't do, like, I won't do a cream pie. I mean, I won't do a cream pie scene.
Probably safer that way.
I don't like guys coming to me. I mean, I've done scenes where it was like a fake cream pie, like they would just inject lotion into your pussy and show it, but I won't do a real cream pie just because I don't really like guys coming in me. I think it's disgusting.
So what do they inject in you? It's just a kind of a faux jizz, basically?
Yeah, it's like fake jizz. Some people use lotion, some people use pina colada mix.
Wow, I never knew that. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, but no, there's some scenes where they'll be like, oh, it's a fake cream pie, and I'll agree to that. But if it's like a real cream pie, then no, thank you.
How did your first scene go? What was your first scene, and were you completely nervous?
My first scene was a girl, and it was actually a lot of fun. It was a girl, and then a guy came in. It was like one of those casting couch things. So I did another girl, and the camera guy came in, and me and her had to give him a blowjob. So that was my first scene.
Oh, okay. Were you
nervous? Pretty cool.
You weren't nervous at all? You were a natural?
At first I was a little nervous, but then once I met the talent, I met the guy and the girl. They were actually boyfriend and girlfriend. You know, off camera. They were off camera too, so they were dating at the time. So they made me feel comfortable. They were cool. So I was just like, wow, all right.
Do you end up?
I got into it.
Oh, nice. Do you end up catching a lot of flack from the right-wing conservative assholes who bash the porn industry?
I didn't really get attacked personally. I mean, I had one or two guys on Twitter. They would talk about how, like, Jesus will pay you for your sins or something like that. I mean, I get goofy tweets all the time, but I haven't been attacked personally. Never.
What would you say to those people out there who would say that pornography is degrading to women? Obviously, we completely disagree, but what would you say to someone who came at you with that?
Well, honestly, if that's what makes me happy, that's what makes me happy. I mean, everybody has their own personal opinion of things. So if you think porn is degrading, okay, that's your personal opinion. But hey, I'm a porn star. I love what I do. I love all the sex acts you see. I'm enjoying myself. You may think what I do is degrading, but you know what? I love it. I love what I do. This is who I am. If you don't like it, all right, can't help you there.
I know, it's always those pricks too, and they're like, that pornography is horrible, and they go home and they pop in the nearest porno tape and they wear that shit out, assholes.
Yeah.
What overall in your life has been the greatest moment so far?
You mean on camera or off camera?
Anything.
Anything? I'm trying to think. That's a good question.
We couldn't talk. We couldn't talk about just dick and pussy. We had to get something out in the real world, you know.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I guess moving out to LA and becoming a porn girl and achieving success is the greatest thing that happened to me.
Do you have any upcoming projects that we should be looking out for? Anything on the horizon?
Oh, yes. I have a few things coming out. I have a release coming out from Wicked Pictures, and then I have some stuff coming up from Bang Bros, and then I got a lot of things going, so be on the lookout.
All right. And you want to tell everybody where they can find you online, follow you on Twitter, because you post some sexy-ass shit, like, every day.
Oh, yeah, I do. I keep it going. But, so my Twitter is @LaylaPrice, XOXO.
All right. I appreciate you talking to me today. I know you're probably busy and you probably got shit to do, but I thank you for joining me here on Hard to Swallow, and make sure you guys find her online and support the industry that I love so much.
Alrighty, well, thank you.
Have a wonderful night.
You too. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, Dez.
Yo.
Now that we're no longer including Will in any of our promos, have you heard about the Musings of a Geek podcast network?
No, actually, I haven't. What's that?
It is a podcast network, which is a collection of podcasts.
What's a podcast?
A podcast is like a radio show on the internet. It's incredible. We've got tons of them. At musingsofageek.com, you can listen to 16 or 17 or 20 podcasts. It's amazing. We've got ours, the Musings of a Geek, Pilots, the Arkham Social Hour, which Des is the host of, the History of Bad Ideas, Best of the Worst Movie Podcast, Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, Graphic Novice, Sweating the Small Stuff, Who the What Now, The Q from Hell, 40 Going on 14, Jerk Zeus Radio, Hard to Swallow, Culture Babble, How Is This Movie, and Media Feed. 2 new ones. It's added today.
What about the ones we're adding tomorrow?
I don't know yet. If you like what you hear on the Musings of a Geek podcast network, go ahead and shoot us an email. If you want to join the Musings of a Geek network, go ahead and jump on musingsofageek.com. Definitely listen to the podcast. Check us all out. We're all there. And as always, stay geeky, my friends.
All right, welcome back, everybody. One last thing I wanted to get opinions on. I had a discussion with a guy on Twitter the other day. We were talking about vintage. The term vintage antique. And because I was perusing eBay, I'm an eBay-aholic, and somebody had listed vintage DVD. And I'm like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. There's no such thing as a vintage DVD. But my question to you guys is, at what point does something become vintage or antique?
Well, I know with cars, I think they have to be at least 25 years old to be considered like a set antiques, law? I believe.
I would just say a Betamax cassette.
No, with cars, I'm sure it's 25 years old or older to be.
So, in your
antiques.
personal opinion, say I have a plaster mold of my cock from 1976. Is that an antique? Is that vintage?
First of all, it's a plaster mold of your cock is never going to be vintage. Let's start there.
Wouldn't you kind of call it like a modern antique? Of a kind of an era. Like, hey, it was the 70s.
And what were you, like 2? Were you 2 then?
If my dick is dusty, it's an antique. No, I wasn't even alive in 1976.
76 you were, because you're just a little older than my kid, aren't you?
I just wondered, because this guy and I on Twitter got into a huge debate about when does something become vintage or antique.
There's no such thing as a vintage DVD, CD,
right.
DVD.
So
not yet.
I kind of said, like, what if we go back maybe three formats? So right now it's all digital, right? Everything's digital.
I mean, if you have some VHS tapes, I would think some of those might be vintage.
You think?
You got 8 tracks, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 8 tracks, laser disc, maybe
right.
Stuff like that. But what do you think?
I would probably say Betamax. That would be it. That was kind of
Betamax.
Yeah, Betamax.
Oh, yeah.
Betamax VHS. Who uses VHS anymore?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I did find interesting in doing a little bit of research for it, though, is that you know how, of course, Betamax lost to VHS, and Blu-ray won over HD DVD.
Sony did get their revenge in the end.
Do you know why they won? The trendsetters, apparently, in all formats, visual, has been pornography. Pee Wee Herman. Really? I'm not going to be Pee Wee Herman and walk into an adult theater and get arrested for masturbating in public. But I could fucking jack off all I want in the privacy of my own home to some home porn.
Right.
I'm interested. This is my morbid curiosity. Have they started doing 3D porn? Where you can kind of interactive, it's kind of interactive. I like how you're like, living room.
I like how you're like, this is in my morbid curiosity, I'm like, oh, I've searched it. I've watched it.
I have a 3D television, but I haven't got the 3D system. So, no.
He said my morbid curiosity. Have you met my friend Jay?
Yes, that's why I'm
seriously.
That's why I'm throwing it open to the floor, i.e., to you, Jay. Is there such thing as 3D
there
pornography, and
thing.
you stand there in your glasses with penis in hand?
There is 3D pornography. You could get 3D Blu-rays. There is also the old school red and blue. If you want to that's vintage probably right
Yeah,
there.
that's probably some vintage
Yes.
shit right there, yeah.
I have watched them. You can go online and find them right on your red tube or your YouPorn. Pop on your little red and blue glasses, and although the sad thing is they can shoot on you in 3D, but you can't shoot on them in 3D.
So basically, you have a left-handed mouse.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
indeed.
upsetting. It's very upsetting. Yeah. Well, I guess that's going to do it, everybody. Well, like I said, it always comes back to sex on this show. I guess the title helps, though.
You think?
Everybody, make sure you check out. There's a great podcast called Married with Podcast. It's on the Couch Potato Network.
Oh, yeah.
Check them out. CPN. You could find them on Twitter. All kinds of shit. Great people. Great show. And find them.
Did they change their name?
Also,
Weren't
they did. It was used to be Unholy Matrimony.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently, there was some issues with the name, so they instead of fucking arguing people, they just changed the name. So.
Okay.
Same people, same great show. They just actually had an episode where they talked while they were playing. There's a game called Cards Against Humanity. And we're going to do it sometime. I think we're going to do it on this show. Because it's basically a game where you draw a card and it'll say, like, blank makes me horny. And then each of us have a handful of cards. And whoever puts in the best fill in the blank wins.
Oh, so it's like apples to apples.
So basically,
kind of. All right.
Who's going to beat it? Necrophilia makes me horny.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you have to be. So basically, the mortuary technician who wanted to be on the show, that's what he would reply. Necrophilia makes me horny because we have one that's still warm here,
Exactly.
and everyone's left early for the weekend. So here I go.
Yeah, that's probably the
the
only...
KY jelly. She'd never know.
I think in that case, he should probably not be a mortician. He should probably be the first on site. You know, maybe a police officer, maybe a paramedic.
I wonder if that actually happens, though, in mortuaries.
I don't know. I will tell you.
I've heard
did I ever tell you that one of my regulars at the restaurant is the cops call him the body snatcher? Because that's what he does for a living.
He goes and scrapes people off
He
the road, right?
literally every dead body in Kent County that has to go to that morgue, he picks up.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting horny now.
I'll have to ask him about that. Anyways, I'll check with him on that, and I'll.
Maybe
I'll
we
let
can get him
you
on
know.
the show. Maybe he has some good stories.
Maybe
that might be good.
So, anyway,
make sure you check out musingsofageek.com. jbidwell.com is where you can find all of our stupid bullshit. Facebook.com/peonpods. I'm on there all the time. Tweet at BidwellFog. Do you have a Twitter you want to give out or anything like that? Any contact info?
What is Twitter? Is it halfway between the
Don't
twat
ask
and the
me.
shitter? Is it? You know, I don't even know what Twitter is.
I have a Twitter account. Don't know how to use it.
Everyone's been saying to me, "You should tweet." I don't tweet. I just
Actually
use Facebook.
You know, Twitter is amazing for business, though. I'm telling you. It's a great way to network and a great way to talk to people in your same like. Even better than Facebook, in my
Yeah, but the
opinion.
trouble is, though, people actually constantly want to mither you to death.
That's probably true.
So it's better just to give the people you want to your cell phone number, and that's it.
See, when I get overrun with tweets, I just tweet a picture of my asshole, and it tends to spread the crowd a little bit. So they're like, "All right, we'll let him settle for a day until that's off his feed, and then we'll
Right.
we'll go back." jbidwell.com. Thanks, everybody. Say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Go fuck something.
You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.